So that GojiMan video about censoring Primal Edge Health and Sv3rige, of course I was expecting people to like support him doing that, and I couldn't help but take a step back and notice that if the tables were turned, we would look just like those vegans supporting him, violating like people's freedom of speech, because we're just tribal creatures and that's what we do. And I think it's important for it. He just posted like a comment thing on YouTube where like you can see kind of like a status update. I just discovered that like YouTube has that, saying that he was probably going to take a break from YouTube because you know, he was reading a lot of comments from vegans and non-vegans, and you know, I guess he feels bad that even vegans were like, you know, very unimpressed with that video he made. And you know, I feel really sorry for the guy, and I don't want him to leave YouTube. The way I see things, just like we've evolved through natural selection and, you know, through means of evolution, and you know, we've essentially competed with other species for survival, and even with our ancestors, and you know, we were the winners of the gene pool, and we got to perpetuate as a species, and here we are through means of natural selection. I see ideas exactly the same way, and I didn't create this like theory. This is like a common thing. I think ideas also get naturally selected for, and we need to support a free market of ideas. So that's why freedom of speech is so great, you know? And I know for a fact that there's a bunch of like carnivores that are for banning veganism and for like, you know, the same kind of outrageous shit that vegans are for. Like, we are just as tribal and just as crazy on the other end. And I wrote a little comment on GojiMan's little status, telling him that he should keep doing what he's doing, and I mean it. You know, I want him to keep like creating content, and if his advice is helping people troubleshoot their vegan diets and people are thriving, modifying their vegan diets, then I'm not going to tell them to stop, and I don't want them to stop, because they're providing data points for something. And I think it's extremely ignorant for anybody to claim to know the ultimate truth about reality when it comes to anything at all, whether it's religion, whether it's nutrition, anything at all. Because as long as you're experiencing life through the lens of your mind and your collection of experiences, you're always going to have some sort of a bias. You're never going to see reality as it is. And the only way we can get close to seeing an accurate picture of reality is to remove our lenses. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of play the devil's advocate here, because I do that a lot in an effort to stay unbiased. And for the record, I was furious when I saw that video. I was just like, man, I cannot believe this is going too far. Because you know, in my previous videos, I've shown like support for like people doing their vegan diets if they want to keep doing their vegan diets, you know, and I haven't gotten on this like vegan, hate vegan campaign that, you know, that seems to be kind of like a rite of passage to becoming like a carnivore. And I don't want to participate in like vegan bashing and vegan hating. This video is strictly about like that freedom of speech violation that GojiMan was about to embark on. So anyway, this was kind of a ramble. I just wanted to kind of express that I think it's very important for us to keep an open mind about everything. And personally, Primal Edge Health, I've been following Tristan for years on Instagram and on YouTube, like when he was a nobody. I mean, he probably had like 1,000 subscribers, or I don't remember, like when he was like just paleo, I think, like before he even got into keto. And I used to really like him, but lately, like, his content is just so cringy to me, just because he spends half of his time just like bashing vegans and like making fun of vegans and acting like he knows everything. And it's like, you know, guys, that feeling that we have of truth and conviction, like other people experience that same feeling in their bodies with different content in their mind, you know? So we have to understand that when people are expressing like their truth, they feel just as much conviction as we do. And we can't just like claim to know everything. We can't, because, you know, if you're anything like me, you've discovered that your truths weren't truths at some point. And it, you know, like sometimes it gives you a fucking like identity crisis and you're like, holy fuck, you know, I can't believe that I believed this. This is like insane. And at that time it felt like truth, you know? You're just so convinced of reality being one particular way, and then you stumble upon some other things that like happen to change the way you think. And we have to accept that there's no way we're going to be all knowing. And that's why we have to support people doing different things, because only then in this free market of ideas can we like arrive at a truth, because it's not going to happen, you know, from one person doing anything. We have to see what ultimately gets naturally selected for in this like free market of ideas. So anyway, just wanted to share that little insight in case it gives anybody any little aha moments, because it's important. Liberty is important, and that includes liberty in the market of ideas and nutritional dogma. So I hope I've changed somebody's mind about maybe letting vegans speak, as long as they're not infringing upon our rights. That I'm very opposed to. And I see that that's, you know, that happens a lot. There's people who want to like, you know, make meat illegal and whatnot. I think that's what we need to be fighting. We don't need to be fighting like veganism itself per se. It's just the kind of socialist mentality behind that, which doesn't just happen with veganism. It happens with literally everything. So that's the real problem here, is that kind of like socialist mentality that we need to force people to do things that we agree with. So anyway, okay. End rant. I'll keep this short. Just wanted to express my thoughts on this. That's Shirley. Anyway, see you guys.